ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्ता कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासुदेव गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।
हरे कृष्णा। तो जिन भक्तों को भी हिंदी अनुवाद चाहिए आप पीछे बैठ सकते हैं। माताओं के लिए हिंदी अनुवाद पीछे हो रहा है इस तरफ, और जो प्रभु जी हैं जिनको हिंदी अनुवाद चाहिए वहाँ पर पीछे जा सकते हैं। अनुवाद हो रहा है तो श्रवण करना बहुत अधिक आवश्यक है, समझना आवश्यक है। तो जिसको भी समस्या है भाषा की प्लीज पीछे बैठ के आराम से श्रवण करें। धन्यवाद। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. So very happy to be here. Thank you so much for your very warm welcome. Actually, when I came into the room, I saw the bed and I said, my God, this is the biggest bed I've seen in ISKCON. I said, did they know someone really tall was coming? It was such a long bed. And then I looked closer, they had put a table on the end of the bed. Extend. Thank you so much, very kind. I had a good night's sleep. Luckily, I woke up for Mangalarti. So very happy to be here. I was saying yesterday to the devotees, we often, of course, Srila Prabhupada's grace, we're able to come to Vrindavan so many times. I only saw Faridabad as a sign on the motorway, on the highway. Today to be here is very fortunate. So today we are speaking about our Vaishnav Thakur, Srila Jayadev Goswami. Jayadev Goswami ki. These are all wonderful personalities. Srila Prabhupada, he revealed to us the glory of all these devotees who had come prior to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So today we will remember a little bit about Jayadev Goswami. But before that, excuse me. Before that, let us say something about the importance of song and poetry. You see, some things you cannot tell people by speech. No matter how nice words you try to say something to convey some truth, the words will never be enough. Sometimes you have to sing. Sometimes you have to compose poetry. Because poetry means when philosophy and when bhav, emotion is coming together, then it is having a greater impact. And therefore, our movement is the movement of singing and poetry. Isn't it? Just like you've heard of Tanzan, isn't it? Tanzan was the singer of Akbar, yes, and he used to sing very, very beautifully. And then one day Akbar, he came to Tanzan and he said, if you sing so beautifully, who did you learn from? Who is your guru? He must sing even more beautiful than you. Tanzan said, oh yes, yes, my guru is Haridas Pandit. He sings sweeter than a cuckoo. Akbar said, I must hear him sing. When I hear you sing, my heart melts. When I hear him sing, maybe my entire being will melt. Tanzan said, no, no, he will never sing for a materialistic person. You will never be able to hear him sing. Akbar said, no, no, I must. Where is he? He is in Vrindavan. He is worshipping Banke Bihari. And there, every morning at 3 a.m., he is waking up and he is singing only for Banke Bihari. He doesn't sing for a crowd. He doesn't sing for anyone. He only sings for Krishna. So Akbar said, I will go and I will hide. And then I will keep my ears open and I'll hear him singing. So Akbar went to Vrindavan. And there he went to the bank of the Yamuna, where every day Haridas Pandit would rise, and by 3 a.m. he would be singing for Krishna. So Akbar got there 2 a.m. and he was waiting. And then sure enough at 3 a.m. Haridas Pandit appeared and he began singing, and Akbar's heart melted. He said, I'd never heard such sweet singing in my life. Who is this? Who is this personality? Then Akbar, he looked at Tanzan and he said, how is it that he is able to sing so sweetly, even sweeter than you? And Tanzan looked at Akbar and he said, because I sing for a king, but he sings for Krishna. He said, I sing because I receive something in return, but he sings because he has so much bhav in his heart that he has to let it out. And therefore, when he sings, it's a different prem kirtan. This is a singing of love. So Akbar could understand, wow. So this is what it means. Another time someone was singing and they were singing out of rag, a bit off tune. So someone said, hey, you're singing, you should sing in rag. And then Mirabai, she was walking by and she said, rag, more important than rag is the anurag in the heart. He may not be singing with rag, but he's singing with anurag. That is more important. So this is the devotee has so much bhav, isn't it? We have our song, Bhajahure mana Shrinandanandana Abhaya Charanaravindaré. So in the early days, Yamuna Mataji, she liked this song very much. So one day she was singing, but she was singing little ulta. Bhajamana Hure. She was singing. She was actually singing alone in the room. You know George Harrison? Yeah, so he was recording. She didn't know anyone was recording. So she was singing the song, but she sung the words wrong. It's not Bhajamana Hure. Bhajahure. But anyway, he recorded it. Later on, Srila Prabhupada heard that recording of her singing. Srila Prabhupada said, publish it. Print it on a CD. Everyone should hear this. Print it on a tape. Devotees, but Prabhupada, the words are wrong. Bhaja manahu re. This is not Vaishnava song. Prabhupada, it doesn't matter. Because she's singing with so much bhav. Doesn't matter. One time a devotee came to Srila Prabhupada and he said, your disciples, their pronunciation is little off. Prabhupada said, pronunciation is off, renunciation is perfect. So, there's a verse actually. Murkho vadati vishnaya, dhiro vadati vishnave, ubayor tu samam punyam, bhavagrahi janardana. Murkho vadati vishnaya. If one is a fool, he doesn't know Sanskrit, then he will say Vishnaya. This is wrong. Dhiro vadati Vishnave. The dhira, the intelligent person knows the Sanskrit transformation is Vishnave. But what does the verse say? Ubhayor tu samam punyam. They get the same benefit. Because Krishna is bhavagrahi janardana. So Krishna wants to see the bhav. And when you want to express the bhav, then you express it through poetry, you express it through song. Therefore, sometimes people say, India, Bharat. Why is India known as Bharat? Because Bha, Bhav, Ra, Rag, Ta, Tal. The land where emotion is expressed through melodies and beats. So India is the land of singing, so you must sing. When I first came to the Hare Krishna temple and devotees were singing, dancing, I was thinking like, singing and dancing? This is what you do in the nightclub. When you come to the temple, you pray. You're serious business. You pray, you're serious, all this laughing, singing, dancing. This is not for the temple. So I came to one devotee, I said, I like everything, the philosophy, but this singing and dancing for me is a little strange. When I come here, I come for serious business. I come to have a serious conversation with Krishna. He said, Krishna is not a serious person. Then you need to go to somewhere other place. He said, this is the place of singing and dancing. I said, but this is what they do in clubs. He said, when you're happy, there's 3 things you do. It doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, what language, what culture. When you're happy, you smile, you sing, and you dance. So when you come to the temple, you become happy, and therefore you have to smile, you have to sing, you have to dance. So our movement is a movement of poets and singers. Therefore, one of the 26 qualities of a devotee is Kavi. Kaviraj, Krishnadas Kaviraj. How did he get that name? Because one day he wrote a book, Govinda Lilamrit. And when the devotees heard, they said, this book has the power to make stones melt. Therefore, from this day, you will be known as Kaviraj, the king of poets. So a devotee is a poet. They are able to express things in such beautiful ways through their language. Isn't it? Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes beautifully, he reasons ill who tells that Vaishnavas die when thou art still living in sound. The Vaishnavas die to live, and living they spread the holy name around. Wow, beautiful. You take those 4 lines and you can analyze them unlimitedly, so deep. One time Srila Prabhupada wrote a poem. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur read one line and he said, he's understood my mission. Absolute is sentient. Thou hast proved. Impersonal calamity. Thou hast moved. Now we read it, we have to think some. What did he say? We don't, it doesn't immediately. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur already said he has understood. Anything he writes, publish it. No one needs to check it. Because he's a Kavi. All of Srila Prabhupada's godbrothers understood Srila Prabhupada is a Kavi. He's a poet. Therefore, the devotees, because they have Siddhanta and also they have Bhav, then they can produce incredible poetry. And therefore today we're remembering Jayadev Goswami, because Jayadev Goswami was an incredible poet. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come to this world to teach people what love in separation looks like, what love in separation feels like. But before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, some other personalities came before him to begin giving some ideas of what this love in separation is actually all about. So therefore in the 11th century, Jayadev Goswami was one of those personalities. He had understood the deepest secrets of the Leela between Radha and Krishna. And therefore, he was writing many things down. Later on in the 14th century, there were poets like Vidyapati, Chandidas, Bilvamangal Thakur was also there. And he said that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, then in the final days when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was experiencing this very deep love that Srimati Radharani had for Krishna, then what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing is he was reading the poetry of Jayadev Goswami. He was reading the poetry of Vidyapati, Chandidas, Bilvamangal Thakur, Krishna Karanamrit. And he was experiencing what Madhavendra Puri had come and also exhibited. Madhavendra Puri had come before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, isn't it? He is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grand spiritual master. So he had come. And he was the first person who was exhibiting in the world the emotions that Srimati Radharani was experiencing when Krishna left her. So therefore in the end of his life he was singing a very famous line. Ai Dina Dayadra Hai Mathura Nath Kadavalokya Se Hridayam Tvadaloka Kataram Dayita Bhramyati Kim Karomi Aham. He was singing this again and again. Ai Dina Dayadra Hai. Oh Krishna, who understands the pain that is within someone's heart. Mathura Natha, O Krishna, who is the Lord of Mathura. Kadavalokya Se, where are you? I cannot see you. You've disappeared from my eyes. Hridayam Tvadaloka Kataram. Now I cannot see you. My heart is paining. Daita Bhramyati, I'm running around confused. I don't know what to do, where to go, how to relieve my pain. Kim karomi aham, what will I do? How will I survive? So this is what Srimati Radharani was feeling when Krishna had left the rasa dance. Deep separation. And so Madhavendra Puri was experiencing and reciting the same thing that Srimati Radharani was experiencing. So Jayadev Goswami, he had written poetry which was able to capture the deepest emotions. See, sometimes we see this emotion of separation is very strong in the world, isn't it? If you don't believe me, just listen to all the Bollywood songs. No, don't actually. Bollywood, Hollywood, all the songs of love. Oh, she left me. Oh, where is he? In England, there's a very famous song. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next day, you threw it away. So, these songs are there. So this is all perverted reflection. Actually, if you look at many of the lyrics of the love songs in this world, actually, if they would only turn those sentiments to Krishna, it would actually be very, very deep. Because actually, it's amazing. It's so painful, isn't it? This heartbreak. But people love to sing these songs, even though it's so painful. It's heartbreaking. But they love it at the same time. So you can understand this is all a perverted reflection of what is there in the spiritual world. So Jayadev Goswami, he was writing very, very beautiful books. And in these books, he was explaining all these emotions that go on between Radha and Krishna. He was seeing everything. Radha, Krishna, Nitya, Leela, Korila, Prakash. See, we hear about Radha and Krishna's pastimes, but the great souls, they are seeing those pastimes. Krishna's pastimes are known as Nitya Leela, isn't it? Nitya Leela means three things. The pastimes are eternally going on in the spiritual world, number one. The pastimes are eternally going on somewhere in the material world, number two. But the pastimes are always going on in the hearts of the devotees. Therefore, number three, Nitya Leela. So Jayadev Goswami, he was seeing all the pastimes of Krishna going on within his own heart. And therefore, he would pick up his pen and immediately he would begin to write things. He would write things that no one is meant to know, because who knows what's going on? No one can behold such things. Isn't it? Even if you go today to Radha Damodar temple, then behind Radha Damodar temple is Seva Kunj, isn't it? And at a certain time in the evening, the gates to Seva Kunj are locked. Because if anyone tries to go into Seva Kunj after a certain time in the evening, then they come out completely pagal. Because Krishna's pastimes are going on there. Who can understand? Who can grasp? But to the great devotees, Krishna reveals. So Jayadev Goswami, he was being revealed, so he had to write down many, many beautiful things. So he ended up writing a very, very beautiful book, Geet Govinda. So Gita Govinda, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Gita Govinda is a very powerful book. These are very, very elevated books. Gita Govinda, Govinda Lilamrit. One time Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he came to Bhaktivinoda Thakur and he said, I think we should print Govinda Lilamrit. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, yes. Print 2 copies. One for me, one for you. No one else will understand. This is a very deep subject matter. So Gita Govind is the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, but the very, very deep emotions that they're experiencing. Of course, Gita Govind begins, in the very beginning of Gita Govind, Jayadev Goswami is talking about the Dasa Avatar. This is where, we sing the song, Keshava Dhrita Narahari Rupa. So this is all coming from Dasavatar Stotram, and this song is the beginning of Gita Govinda. So before Jayadev Goswami begins to talk about Radha Krishna's Nitya Leela, he explains that there are many incarnations, asankhya is said, unlimited incarnations of Krishna, and he says of them 10 are primary. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he analyzes the Dasa Avatar, And he says there is an evolution amongst them. He said first there is an avatar which is an animal in the water, aquatic. Which one is that? Matsya. Then he says there is an animal which is an amphibian in the land and also in the water. Which one is that? Kurma. Then he says there is an avatar which is an animal but which is on the land. Which one is that? Varaha. Then he says later on there is an animal but only half animal. Half animal, half Nishingadev. And then he says later on there is a man, human, but undeveloped human, not fully adult. Vamana. Then he says later on there is a fully developed human but savage, very violent. Parashuram, yes. His pastimes go with the adult rating. Very, very savage. And then he says there is also a human which is an enlightened human. Buddha. Then he says later on there is a human which is an ideal human. Ram. And then he says there is a human which is superhuman. Krishna Balaram. So you see, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there is an elevation. Krishna is appearing. Actually, he said that Krishna appears in all the 8.4 million species of life. But if you wanted to read that Bhagavatam, you'd need probably 8.4 million lives. Therefore, he said there's Bhagavatam in higher planetary systems in the heavens which are much bigger. We think, oh my God, 18,000 verses, it's enough, it's enough. This is just a snapshot. So Gita Govind is very, very beautiful. So Jayadev Goswami doesn't immediately just start speaking about Krishna. He says, no, Krishna has many incarnations. And in all of his incarnations, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam. He's establishing dharma sanstha, panarthaya. And he's coming, yuge, again and again. But then later on, Jayadev Goswami can't resist. Then he says, okay, yeah, many avatars are there, but let's talk about Krishna. So then he begins talking about Krishna in Vrindavan. Shyamameva param rupam puri madhupuri vara Vayakaishorakam dhyayam adya eva parorasa. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Shyam Sundar is the Supreme Personality of Krishna. Shyamameva param rupam. Krishna has many forms. If you go to Gujarat, they'll tell you, Krishna is a Gujarati. Because he was in Dwarka, yes, Dwarkadish. But the Gaudiyas, they will say, yes, but Shyamameva param rupam. Krishna is Shyam Sundar param rupam. They cannot be higher than this. Puri madhupuri vara. Yes, there are so many tirthas, so many holy places. But Madhupuri, Mathura is the highest. So when Krishna is Shyam Sundar in Mathura, and then Vaya Keshorakam Dhyayam, when Krishna is at the age of being a youth, then he is doing some incredible things. And then when Krishna is a youth, Adya Eva Paro Rasa, but then he's relating to his most confidential devotees in the Adiras, Madhurya Bhav, Ujvala Ras. Then you can understand this. There's no higher form of God than this. So Jayadev Goswami, he was writing about all of these things. One day Jayadev Goswami, he was writing. And he was writing about the flute. the flute who was once glorifying Krishna's pastimes in a very beautiful way. So he wrote down the poem of the flute. And the king of Bengal at that time, Lakshman Singh, he was also a great devotee. He read this poem of Jayadev Goswami. Immediately when he read this poem of Jayadev Goswami, he said to his minister, Govardhan, who has written this poetry? Who has such deep insight of Krishna? So Govardhan, he was also a great devotee. And so he said, yes, there is one great Vaishnav, Jayadev Goswami. Lakshman Singh said, I have to go and meet him. Again, like Tanzan told Akbar, he said, no, he will not see you. But Lakshman Singh was a great day. He said, no, I must go and see him. So he said, I'll go undercover, incognito, in kami clothes. So he went in civil dress and he went to meet Jayadev Goswami. Jayadev Goswami was living in Champahati in Navadvip. So immediately Jayadev Goswami, when this seeming lower class person came, began asking him things. He said, who are you? He said, I'm a no one. He said, no, you are undercover. You're not revealing who you really are. Lakshman Singh could understand, when you're in front of a sadhu, you can't lie. You can't. The truth must come out. So then he said, yes, what to do? I am Lakshman Singh. I am a so-called king. But I've come here to hear from you. You are a great Vaishnav. I read your poetry. Please, you recite more. You give joy to my heart. Jayadev Goswami said, I will not speak to any materialistic person who is involved in the affairs of this world. Niskinjanasya bhagavad bhajanan mukasya param param jigamisor bhavasagarasya. I don't have anything to do with the people of this world who are involved in pounds and shillings and pence. He was so heavy. Lakshman Singh, he heard that and he said, no, please, I have a desire to hear you. Jayadev Goswami became even more angry. He said, I don't even want to see you. I'm going to go to the other side of the Ganga and live there because I don't even want to be in your kingdom. Lakshman Singh felt so bad. But in that moment, he became so humble. And he said, you are completely independent. Whatever you like to do, you can do. But one thing, if you go on the other side of the Ganga and live there, where will you live? Therefore then, allow me to build at least a house for you there. And when Jayadev Goswami heard that, his heart melted. He said, you've passed the test. I was seeing how you would react when I neglected you. I was seeing how you would react when I chastised you. I was seeing how you would react when I didn't reciprocate with you. And your love never reduced. This is proof that you have a real loving relationship with me. If you want to know whether you have a real loving relationship with someone, you will understand that even when there is seeming neglect in that relationship, you still can't stop loving that person, even if they don't reciprocate. Therefore, Jayadev Goswami said, yes, you can build a house for me there. And I will live there, and you come there anytime you want, and we will speak Krishna Katha. And Jayadev Goswami then became the chief priest in Lakshman Singh's court. So like this, Jayadev Goswami was living, writing Geet Govind, and then Srila Prabhupada tells us, reveals to us, one day something very incredible happened. Jayadev Goswami was talking about Radha Krishna's Nitya Leela in the forest groves of Vrindavan. Shriman Rasarasarambhi Vamshi Vatatastita Karshan Venu Svaner Gopi Gopinathai Shriyestunaha. Krishna was under the Vamsi Vat tree, and then he played his flute. And as soon as he played his flute, all of the gopis came, understanding he is initiating the rasa dance. So he was all writing about rasa leela. And then later on, Krishna disappeared from the rasa leela, from the rasa mandali. And Srimati Radharani became completely engulfed by separation. And then she became very, very angry at Krishna. We gave up everything, we left everything, and now you have left us. And like this, she was expressing her man. And Krishna was seeing this, he was sensing this. So Jayadev Goswami is writing all of this down. And then at one point, Krishna sees the transcendental love of Srimati Radharani, and in his mind, Jayadev Goswami is visualizing all of this. And then Krishna comes and he says to Srimati Radharani, now you please place your feet on my head. And when Jayadev Goswami, he's writing everything down. When it comes to this point, he's thinking, he stops. His hand is trembling. And he's thinking, how can I write this? That Krishna, who says, Mata parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya, there's nothing higher than me. That Krishna is telling Srimati Radharani that put your feet on my head. His hand was trembling. He put his pen down. He said, I cannot write this. How can I write this? Krishna, Srimati Radharani's feet on Krishna's head? He said, I need to take a break. He said to his wife Padmavati, I need to take a break. Let me go to the Ganga Snan. Let me clear my mind. I'll come back and then let's see what happens. So he left. Some minutes after he left, someone else came, looking exactly like Jayadev Goswami. So Padmavati opened the door. She said, hey, you came back so quickly? He said, yes, I was writing, I forgot to write something. So let me just write and then I'll go back again. So that personality came in. She thought it was Jayadev Goswami. That personality wrote some words. Dehi padava pallavam udaram. These 4 words. Dehi pada pallavam udaram. Left. Some minutes later, another knock came on the door. She opened. Jayadev Goswami, this time the real one. He said, hey, you just came back. Now you're coming back again. He said, what do you mean? She said, you came back in the middle. You said you forgot and now you've gone back and then already you're back. He said, what do you mean come in the middle? I didn't come in the middle. I left. I took Ganga Snan. I'm coming back now. Then Jayadev Goswami realized, who was this person? He went into his room. He opened the script and he saw the words, Dehi pada pallavam udaram. Then he began crying. He came to his wife. He said, don't you understand? The Lord himself came. Krishna came. And because I could not write those words, because I could not conceive of how Radharani has conquered Krishna, Krishna himself had to come and write those words to confirm the fact that Srimati Radharani's love is so great that it conquers Krishna. Therefore, Krishna came and wrote those words. Srimati Radharani's love is too intense. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes Radha Bhava Dyuti Suvalitam Krishna Nomi Svarupam. Therefore, he takes the Radha Bhav. Isn't it? Like if someone is a powerful preacher in this world, then you know, because they can make many people devotees, isn't it? But Srimati Radharani is the most powerful preacher because she made God a devotee. It doesn't matter how much you say, yes, IYF, university preacher, congregational preacher, so many people came, yes, I made so many devotees. Srimati Radharani made Krishna a devotee. Ei Mata Bhakta Bhav Kori Angikar Apaniya Charik Bhakti Korila Prachar. Krishna had to take the Bhakta Bhav. So like this, Jayadev Goswami was writing so many things. So Srila Prabhupada teaches us in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Jayadev Goswami's writings are very, very elevated, poetic, move the heart. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, a poet's writing should be like an archer's bow, a bowman's arrow. He said, when a bowman releases an arrow, what is the use if it penetrates the heart but doesn't cause the head to spin? He said, the words of someone who is a true poet, a true kavi, their words will penetrate the heart, and at the same time, they'll cause the mind to spin. So Jayadev Goswami's words were like that. But Srila Prabhupada writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, most people cannot understand Geet Govind because we don't have the qualification. He said most people will read this and feel it's just some mundane emotions of a boy and a girl. They won't be able to understand. Just like when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in front of the Puri, Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra car. It was an incredible scene because hundreds and thousands of people had come. The Rath Yatra was about to begin. The Kirtan was about to begin. And everyone was looking at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began singing a verse. Ya Kaumara Hara Sa Eva Te. He was singing this verse. And this verse is actually mundane poetry. It's like, imagine you have a Rath Yatra tomorrow, and then there's the main sannyasi, and then you give him the mic to start the kirtan, and then he starts singing a Bollywood song. You think like, my God, is he okay? Call the GBC. So Mahaprabhu, he came in front of the Rath Yatra, he's recited this verse. And actually this verse is just a mundane poetry of one person saying, oh, I had my relationship with you in my youth and then I lost you and now I'm meeting you again after a long time. Now I want to take you back to our home. And everyone is thinking, what is he speaking? This mundane poetry. But one person understands Svarup Damodar. And one other person also understands Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami sees the whole scene, then he goes back to his cottage and he writes a beautiful verse. Priya Soham Krishna Sarachara Kurukshetra Militas. He realizes there's something very deep going on here. Jagannath on the Rath Yatra car represents Krishna, who is Dwarkadish, who has come to Kurukshetra. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu represents Srimati Radharani, who's experiencing deep separation from Krishna and has now come to Kurukshetra and is seeing Krishna after a long time. But Srimati Radharani, although she's seeing Krishna after a long time, she's seeing Krishna and saying, it's nice, but I want to take you back to Vrindavan. And there, in the groves of the Vrindavan forests, we can have our pastimes again. Mahaprabhu, when he read this verse, he slapped Rupa Goswami. He said, how did you understand my mind? He came to Swarup Damodar Mahaprabhu, he said, how did he understand my mind? Swarup Damodar said, what do you expect? You empowered him. You empowered him only. So we can read these things, but we will not truly understand. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada says we have to become qualified. So today we're hearing about Jayadev Goswami. There is an incredible treasure of books, of Harikatha, of Leela Studies, many, many places. But at the moment we do not have access because Kama Krodha, Kama Esha, Krodha Esha. Because there's too much lust, too much anger, too much attachment, too much envy, too much material desire. Therefore we cannot access. But what Srila Prabhupada, what the Acharyas are teaching us is that these things are all there. The books are there. The Harikatha is there. All these places are there. Now what we have to do is we have to purify our hearts. And if we purify our hearts, then when you then read these things, when you hear these things, when you go to these places, we will begin to experience a different kind of ecstasy. But right now we're not experiencing that ecstasy because we're not qualified. So therefore on these days when we hear about Jayadev Goswami, we may not be able to appreciate what they've written fully because we may not have that purity of consciousness. But what we can do is become very excited that all these books, narrations, all these places, all this access has been given to us. But now what we have to do is become more pure-hearted, and then we will be able to actually relish fully. This is our deep desire to relish Krishna. They once asked His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj, how should I read Srimad Bhagavatam? And he looked at the person and he said, I don't know. Because I don't read Srimad Bhagavatam, I relish Srimad Bhagavatam. Mohoraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. We have to learn to relish. But to relish, we have to become little pure-hearted. If we sit down with the Bhagavatam and in our mind we're thinking about our job and the argument and ISKCON politics and so many things, then there's no rasa. But when we come and we become a rasika, then it's very, very relishable. So we pray that one day we may be able to understand the true glory of what Jayadev Goswami has given us through books like Gita Govinda. But that's only possible if we become rasika. So may we one day become a rasika by Srila Prabhupada's grace. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Jayadev Goswami ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you so much. if there are any corrections or if anyone would like to ask something, we have a few minutes. Yes. Is there a mic, or you may have to speak loud? I think Prabhu, okay, he's going to him, and then you come second, Prabhu. I think Prabhu is here. Oh, okay, whoever. No.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept most humble obeisances. It is a great honor and privilege and real pleasure to have your darshan here in Delhi, and we're very happy to know that you're giving few classes in Delhi, and we're very excited to hear from you. So really grateful to Krishna to give us the opportunity to have your kind association. Thank you so much for blessing us with that. So my question, Maharaj, was that this, like you narrated this past time, that how we need to be qualified to hear the pasam, just like Rupa Goswami was qualified to hear, to understand the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And fortunately, I was just reading this pastime few days before, and there Mahaprabhu says that I had met Rupa Goswami at Prayag, and I found him qualified, and therefore I had empowered him. So I wanted to ask you that what were the qualities of Rupa Goswami that won the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he empowered him with his mercy, and then Rupa Goswami became qualified to understand the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What qualities attracted Mahaprabhu's mind that he wanted to empower Rupa Goswami? If you can share that. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we need a whole class on Rupa Goswami. Let us say one thing. Many things are there, but one thing is very, very important. When Mahaprabhu came to Ramakeli to see Rupa and Sanatan, then immediately Rupa and Sanatan came, said with straw between their teeth, and they bowed down to Mahaprabhu. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. And when Mahaprabhu saw that, then what did he say to Rupa Goswami? Aje hoete dunhar naam Rupa Sanatan, Dainya Chadi Dainya Tomar, Fate Mor Aman. Aji hoite, from this day on, Tomar Naam Rupa Sanatan, your names will be Rupa and Sanatan. Now when you get initiated, you're supposed to give some dan to the spiritual master, some favor. Here Mahaprabhu is saying, I'm initiating you, I'm giving you the names, but now can you do me one favor? Dainya Chadi, Dainya Tomar, Fate Moraman. Your humility is so deep. Your humility is breaking my heart. Please give up your humility. So Mahaprabhu didn't want them to give up their humility, of course. But he was saying, your humility, isn't it like sometimes the sun is so beautiful, so effulgent, that you can't look at it direct. It's too much, but it's beautiful. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they had incredible levels of humility. Amanitvam, adambitvam. All knowledge, all realization, all wisdom begins with humility. Therefore, I often say, one devotee once said to me, if you're not perfect, then you should be humble. But the moment you're humble, you're perfect. So, I think we could say many things about Rupa Goswami. But it seems in Rupa Goswami's life there are 3 stages. One is when he meets Mahaprabhu at Ramakeli. There are 3 meetings, basically. The first is when he meets Mahaprabhu at Ramakeli. And in that whole passage of Chaitanya Charitamrita, the main thing that's coming out is humility. Then there is the time when Mahaprabhu is meeting Rupa Goswami at Prayag. That's the second meeting. And in that whole pastime, what's really coming out is education. Mahaprabhu is just educating him in the science of bhakti. And the third meeting is when for 10 months Rupa Goswami comes to Puri to be with Mahaprabhu. And what's coming out in that meeting is the empowerment. Because Rupa Goswami is writing all these verses. He's writing all this poetry. Mahaprabhu is saying, my God, look at what he's writing. So this seems to be the progression of spiritual life. When you begin from the foundation of humility, and then you become educated in the science of bhakti through the great devotees, then eventually through that combination of humility and knowledge and practice, then one becomes empowered. And so, we were just saying this in Vrindavan the other day. Therefore, it always comes back to humility. It always comes back to that. That if we become humble, then the wealth of the spiritual world is being opened up towards us. But the moment we're proud, we can't last, we can't learn, and we can't love. Therefore, to me it seems that is the most important quality that we see in Rupa Goswami. That's what I could say today. Thank you. Maybe one from Mataji's side, and then I guess we should stop because what to do.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for your wonderful association. I just wanted to ask that you seems to be very happy in Krishna consciousness, very vibrant, and
someone told me if you don't laugh, then you cry.
So I just want to know any two habits or attitudes we can imbibe in order to relish Krishna consciousness. How you are like very full of
I don't know, I'm externals are not always smiling faces, crying hearts. One time Srila Prabhupada, you've seen Srila Prabhupada's passport, no? So one time one devotee said to Srila Prabhupada, you look very serious, very morose in that picture. Prabhupada said, that was the most ecstatic moment of my life. So really? He said, yes, because I was fulfilling the order of my spiritual master. He said, devotee is gambhir, grave. Sometimes you cannot understand, always. So sometimes some devotees are like that, they're very serious, no? You look at them, you think, my God, maybe I offended him. But they just look like that. But actually in their heart, they're very happy. And then some people like me, just always seemingly smiling, crying hearts, what to do. One great sadhu, he said to me, don't take the illusion too seriously. Here today, gone tomorrow. Oh, that person left from my life. Oh, this thing didn't work out. Oh, that decision in the management meeting went against me. Oh, so many lamentations. Don't take the illusion too seriously. Here today, gone tomorrow. We have some time here. Will we get sidetracked by so many things? Srila Prabhupada has given us so much spiritual wealth. So we should try to be happy in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada liked to see happy devotees. So be happy. It's not easy to be happy. when we have material desires. So yeah, we're trying. It's a joyful process. Susukam kartum avyayam. Trying. By all of your association, I'm becoming happy. Therefore, if there's any smile on my face, it's a reflection of your bhakti. So thank you so much. Very happy to be here. ISKCON Faridabad. You're all welcome to come to London sometime if you want to see hell. But within the hell of London, there is a spiritual oasis, Bhaktivedanta Mana. One good reason to go to the West, to see these places, so you're welcome sometime. Thank you for allowing me to come. I hope to see all of you again some other time, and please bless me that I can become a good devotee of Krishna, maybe in this lifetime. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Swami Maharaj Ji Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Samad Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. So we're extremely indebted to Maharaj for coming here and showering his mercy, both externally and internally. Externally in form of nice weather, rains, internally in forms of, yes, love for Krishna. And as Maharaj himself said in his lecture, you know, all these Bollywood songs, Hollywood songs are very good poetry if they are connected with Krishna. And as Maharaj said, smiling faces, crying hearts. So that's Maharaj's identity, smiling faces and crying for Krishna internally. What a wonderful elevation, elevated level Maharaj possesses. So we're extremely blessed, Maharaj, by your wonderful divine association. As I've been saying since the morning, Maharaj is one of the most popular figures, one of the most sought after Vaishnavas over the world. Everyone comes from different places to hear from Maharaj because Maharaj speaks from his heart. I was just thinking that it's not just what Maharaj speaks, because what he speaks is in the Shastras. So it's wonderful, he speaks the absolute truth. But beyond that, how he speaks, the eloquence with which Maharaj presents everything, the skills that Maharaj has, the styles that Maharaj has, the poetry that Maharaj has, is so wonderful, so attractive. But not just how he speaks, but the realization, the deep realization that he carries in his heart, that's what overwhelms all the audience. So Maharaj is a very, very extremely realized Vaishnava in our community, which looking at him, hearing him, brings faith in us, builds faith in us in the movement towards Srila Prabhupada. So yes, your presence, Maharaj, is very, very warm, very, very overwhelming, very, very empowering for all of us. Thank you very, very much for being here. So let us all with our hearts chant Hare Krishna Mahamant and express gratitude to Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And surely we'll plan a yatra to London also sometime. But till such time that it happens, Maharaj, we request you, we beg you, that please, whenever you come to India, we are on the way, so please do come and bless us with your wonderful association. So thank you so much, Maharaj, for being here. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Swami Maharaj Ji Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki. And what Maharaj speaks is also what Maharaj writes. Maharaj is a very profound author. He has written more than 10 books, which are very wonderful books. His realizations are pouring in these books. So these are 2 books, Gita 3 and Tattva. So Gita 3, some parts of it I have also read over the last couple of days. Very wonderful book. Bhagavad Gita shlokas, the practical implications or the takeaways from that are mentioned in this book, given this book. So these books are available on this stall here behind Srila Prabhupada. So please, all of you can go and take these books, purchase these books and give a donation for the books. So thank you so much. And we are extremely thankful to all of you also, because in this weather, on a working day, all of you took time and came here. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And please honor Prasad in the Gita Bhavan. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank His Grace Baleshwar Rup Prabhu, because Baleshwar Prabhu is very, very instrumental in making Maharaj here. So Baleshwar Prabhu is our good friend from east of Kailash Temple. So let us also thank him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And the devotees who have come all the way from Baroda, from Panjaibaग, our dear friend Karuna Chandra Prabhu has come, from east of Kailash, devotees have come, so hearty welcome to all of you also. Hare Krishna. Naam Govind Prabhu, please prasadam arrangement.